So over the past couple months, I have been thinking about priorities, tasks, what I'm trying to accomplish in kind of a new framework. Um, and as we're moving into 2025 from 2024, I thought I would share with you because it's kind of been working for me. Maybe some other people would get some benefit from that. I heard a quote a while ago, a long time ago, and it's been really hitting me over the past month. And that is if you basically, the gist of the quote is if you want to do something that you've never done before, you're going to have to be someone that you've never been before. And I have been over the past 10, 12 years, as I'm rolling from one year into the next year, I create a little document and I save that I can review at the end of the year. Like, these are what I'm trying to accomplish. This is how the previous year went. This is what I would kind of like to do the next year, whether it is, trips we want to go on, things we want to do as a family, personal goals, professional goals in my job, etc. And I would say each year I get to reflect and be happy with the things that went really well and things that I was able to accomplish. But I always have this sense of I didn't quite do for a few of the big things. I didn't quite go as far as I really wanted to. And I don't know if this is original to me or if I took inspiration from somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. But what I've been doing over the past couple months, it's been working well. And so I've used this framework to lay out this year, 2025, and thought maybe it was helpful to other people. So I'm sharing it. So basically, you can use like mind mapping software or just get a bunch of sticky notes and kind of write everything down so that you can kind of move them around. And it's, stuff that you're trying to accomplish. So the first category is identity. So basically it's identity. Then inside of each identity, there are priorities that you're trying to accomplish. Then there's initiatives under those priorities. And then there's individual tasks if you want to get that granular with it. And so thinking of it that way, instead of thinking in a GTD framework or instead of thinking in like a quadrant, an Eisenhower quadrant, it's just really transformed and I would say taken a lot of pressure off of what is the most urgent, what is the most urgent, what is the highest. And then those things that you really want to do, they never bubble up to that, so they never actually get done. So in thinking of it in this way, you can kind of take space and feel relaxed in the thing that you're trying to accomplish and not worry about all the other things that might be on the to-do list that might be a higher priority. Because if you neglect certain lower priority items, then year after year they never get done. So for example, we have this motorcycle right here, which I took apart to rebuild 5 years ago. It should not take 5 years for me to put this back together. Now granted, there are a few tasks that are beyond my ability to complete that other people can help with. This one, I rebuilt the whole bike in 2023 while I was sick. And couldn't do much else. Could work, basically a couple of things. Couldn't ride, couldn't do much. So I rebuilt this from the ground up, and now I'm doing a couple little projects with it, rebuilding the front end, etc. So, but there's a lot of things in life, sort of like this guy right here, this Ironhead, that year after year they don't get done, that are priorities. So I've broken under the identity column things down like as a husband, as a father, as the son of an aging mother, as a homeowner. We have homeowner things that need to be done. As someone who's into vintage vehicles, so we've got 2 bikes here. I don't know if you can see this old Volkswagen that's sitting right here. I've got a '66 pickup. I've got a couple of things. There are things that as an owner and an enthusiast of vintage vehicles, there are priorities, tasks, responsibilities to maintain those, to maintain the house. Other identities would be, as a friend, what are some things? As a, partner in a company. And, someone who, my role, instead of just saying, what are the tasks as an employee, it's, what is my job function and what are my priorities for the year inside that function. In doing that, instead of arranging things by quote unquote priority, what's urgent, what's highest, they're all laid out. They all have the exact same urgency to me when I lay all this out visually. I can spend a couple hours working on something that is a priority to me and put those other things on hold. I feel a lot more productive thinking of things in that way. Identity first, inside of the identity, the priorities, the initiatives inside of that, and then individual tasks. That way, when I'm looking at the list, I'm not just looking at a list of things to do, but I'm seeing them as identity first. Like, who am I and how do these things that I'm doing interject life into who I am or who I perceive myself to be, and the roles that I have. So maybe that's helpful to you, maybe not, but I hope that everyone has a wonderful 2025, and I am going to get back to this project.